group policy objects. I love that topic. I remember it was 3 or 4 years ago, I spent a few weeks on site in a big school creating, designing, applying and troubleshooting a policy, and I created a group policy for the whole school, and we locked down all PCs, and it was really fun to do that. I encourage you to play with all settings. It's not only to lock it down, you can use GPO to deploy software, you can add scripts and a lot of features as well. Of course, for MTA we want to keep it simple, that's why we are going to create a pretty simple GPO. We'll see how it goes. The idea is to make sure it works in a way that you expect it, test it, and you can take it from there. The first thing you have to do, you have to go to Active Directory users and computers and make sure that users and computers are in the right OUs, in the correct OUs. In our case, we have a dedicated OU, users1, and I am okay with that. We'll apply a group policy object to users1, and Mike should be affected. We have a group policy management snap-in. We click on it. That is a place where you go if you want to create, troubleshoot, and apply GPOs. Be very, very careful. If you make a mistake, that's why I mentioned OUs. Make sure that you put your users and computers in the correct OUs, because if you make a mistake, maybe there is your account over there, you can lock it out and have a lot of problems. If there is a server or a very important laptop, a user, be very careful, test it first, create a user, apply, test it, make sure that it's okay before you go and apply it in the real world. We want to create a GPO here. You right click and you create a new GPO. Let's call it users1 GPO general. Now you right click and edit that GPO. As you probably know, it is divided into 2 sections. Settings that can be applied to a computer and settings that can be applied to a user account. We want to focus on this one because we have Mike Holland in that OU. Now, the easiest way to learn and to see what's inside, you have to play with it. Click, for instance, here and say, okay, what will I achieve by doing this or that? Okay, what is available under printers? What can I do with the desktop? What can I do with shared folders? And so on. On your MTA exam, Microsoft, they're not going to ask you anything specific from here. However, if you want to go for MCSA, MCSE, MCITP and so on, you can expect a question. They can be very specific and can ask you, okay, how can I disable the control panel? How can I remove all icons from the desktop? It can be a question, it can be a simulation, it all depends. For MTA, it is more than enough to know how it works. I recommend you spend some time anyway, be comfortable with that, because it is, if you have a domain controller, you have GPOs. That's why it makes sense to know how it works. So what do you suggest? Let's look at our desktop. We can see one icon on the desktop. Can we remove it? We should. That's the option to do that. I like to start with something simple, make sure that GPIO works in a way I expect it. Do not start with a sophisticated feature like, oh, let's do this or that, let's replace a wallpaper with a shared file. No, don't do it. Start with something simple, make sure it works, and you can take it from there. We double click, enable, apply, and it changes to enable. That's it. Wanna test it? Let's try it. There is a way to force it from the command line. I like to reboot first time, make sure that it's going to be applied. Let's log in and see how it goes. Plug and pray. Come on, come on. Let's wait. Come on. Come on. Yes, it's gone. Good. It's gone. To make sure I'm not hiding anything in the background. Here we go. There is nothing on the screen. Our GPIO is working. Now, go away. Now, if you want to see all settings, you go to this GPIO, and there is a nice report you can view when you go to settings. Here it will show all options that you decided to enable. Thank you very much.